prison. Hurricane Carter never submitted to his jailers or any other oppressors. He refused to wear the clothing of a prisoner because he was an innocent man. And he comes here tonight as a leader of the movement to right another great injustice, the movement to free Mumia Abu Jamal. Brothers and sisters, it is my very great honor to ask you to welcome Rubin Hurricane Carter.
A survivor of the American criminal justice system, in the same way as those who survived the awful Holocaust of Nazi Germany, surviving in the very same death camps of Trenton State Prison and Dachau and Sing Sing and Huntsville, Texas and Buchenwald, surviving in the very same death camps where millions of innocent people were being slaughtered every single day. I am a survivor in that very same way. Only in Germany, people were jailed and slaughtered because of their religion.
I thought about how this sense of powerlessness is instilled within us, even as we are encouraged to consider this country we inhabit, the United States of America, as the heart of democracy. And of course, the recent debates between the Republican and Democratic candidates are supposed to provide us with incontrovertible evidence of that democracy. But I want to ask you, was the death penalty evoked in any of those debates? Did any of the candidates ask us to consider what the fact of 2 million people behind bars means for the practice of democracy? Did any of them ask us to think about the shifting of social resources from education and healthcare and housing to prison construction and prison operation and the creation of a force of public and private police and prison guards? 2 years ago, public sentiment regarding the death penalty could be represented as overwhelmingly positive, although we know that many of the surveys were skewed in such a way as to invite the kinds of answers that could be construed as supportive of the death penalty. But today, it is no longer possible to argue that the death penalty is widely supported. The work that Rubin Carter does on wrongly convicted people has been greatly legitimized by the recognition that death row is also a place of innocence. Moratorium on the death penalty is no longer considered a demand only posed by the left. However, some of our most prominent spokespersons tend to argue that there should be a moratorium on capital punishment until we can be guaranteed that there are no more innocent people on death row. But hold up for a minute. Let's think about that. The
word racism presupposes and then interjects the idea that there are more than one race of people on this planet. There is not more than one race of people on this planet. There is only one race of people in the 6 billion human beings on this planet. There's only one race of people, and that's the human race. And we all belong to that. We all belong to that. What unites us in this miraculous gift called life, the need for compassion, the desire to help another soul, the simple gesture of human kindness, these acts of bravery are far more powerful than anything else. You can. You can find reconciliation with your enemies, but you can only find peace within yourself. That's all. Now this is not easy. This is not easy. And we got to understand that with all of the forces that we have mustered here together, this is not going to be an easy task to get that brother out of jail. It's not going to be easy at all. And we can't look for it to be easy. You see, hate put me in prison. And love busted me out. When I was arrested and accused of this crime in 1966, I believed in the system so much. You believe in the system. If you didn't believe in the system wouldn't exist. I believed in the system so much that I was positive that this foolishness would be cleared up in a matter of no time. I was positive that I'd be released to resume my career. And even after my trial, when I was convicted and sentenced to temporal life in prison, I believed in the system so much that I still convinced that it would only be a matter of time before a higher court realized that a dreadful mistake had been made, released me, I thought, and I would go on to become the middleweight champion of the world. Dare to dream, my friends. Dare to dream. That dream is what sustained me. That dream was the only thing that kept me alive. But then even that dream died with a sudden and terrible finality. I woke up one prison morning to find that I was completely blind in one eye due to the lack of basic medical attention. And it was at that point that I knew that I'd never box again. I knew that I'd never get back in the ring and become the champ. And that, the loss of my dream, hurt me infinitely more than the loss of my eyesight. But I still kept fighting. I'm a Taurus, you know. I still kept fighting. Not for my dream, the middleweight championship that is, but this time for my life. And that was some fight. That fight wasn't governed by any code of principles, and nor was it governed by the Marquis of Queensberry's fair rule. My opponent, the government, was sharp. They were slick, and they were always laughing at me. But in the end, once again, the truth won by a knockout. Dare to dream, ladies and gentlemen. Dare to dream. Even lost dreams. Even lost dreams, maybe are not always lost. 35 years after my career as a prize fighter was over, 34 years after everybody thought I would spend the rest of my life in prison for a crime that I did not commit, the world, for the first time in pugilistic history, the world boxing community got together and awarded me with the middleweight championship belt of the world. See, this belt, ladies and gentlemen, these belts, ladies and gentlemen, are symbols of that great victory. The victory of substance over form. It just goes to show that if we don't give up, if we don't give in, and if we don't give out, we're going to get Mumia Abu Jamal out of that jail. If we keep on fighting, if we keep on struggling, no matter what the odds are, no matter what the circumstances are, we can win. We will